That was great. More stuff like that. More spooky games like that. Okay, that one's already full screen. Good. Okay. Okay, so yeah. This is going to be the next game we do, so let me swap you back to here. I like that both these actually come full screen, so I don't have to do the weird capture method I always have to do, like with Fallout and whatnot. Alright. Here we go. And I shall return to you in just a moment. I saw like a spotlight on the screen. I was wondering what that was. That's supposed to be me, because that's where I started the game. The headset was right there when I started the game. I can't find my controllers. There we go. Here we go. Alright. So here's the next one. This one controls a bit differently. Apparently you can play this one not in VR, but everyone recommends don't play it not in VR, because apparently it's not good in not VR, so... So let's see, I need to... There we go. Now I've got a controller access. It says continue. I booted it up just briefly. New game. Here we go. Comfort mode off. New game. Because I wanted to make sure it would stay full screen. There we go. And we're still full screen? Good. Excellent. So yeah, Dead Secret. It's... Yeah, hear it. Oh. Wow. I'm really up on myself, aren't I? My chest is in my chin. Hang on. Oh, I'm moving. Choose the comfort mode. Normal. Comfortable for most people. Sensitive. Okay, I can do VR movement just fine.
Harris Bullard was found dead in his study 5 days ago. Nobody believes me, but I think he was murdered. This house in the middle of nowhere holds the secret. There's a story hiding here, and I'm going to cover it.
I think
If
you
I'm
want
right,
to uncover
there are
it.
4 major suspects. Graham Wellington, Josie Herrera, Cynthia Peckman,
Phil
Bobby
Lamar.
Sawyer. I'm not leaving until I find out what happened.
Oh. Oh, I've got like how do I move? Oh, I guess I gotta like carry my arm like this because this is how I am. Alright, in and out. Easy. Just have to find some evidence and get out of here. Looking pretty good. Wish I looked that good. Wish I wasn't in my own... An old piano. It's blocking the way. They sure aren't wasting any time selling off Bullard's stuff. This is it. The crime scene. Japanese, apparently. So this door leads to the room where Bullard's body was found, but it's locked. I need to find a key if I want to get in. Wait, this is the crime scene. I need to investigate the study. Oh. Reclusive professor found dead in home. September 23rd, 1965. Gove. K.S. Harris Bullard, a retired college teacher, was found dead in his home Monday. The body was discovered by Bobby Sawyer, who worked part-time for Bullard, running odd jobs. The police investigation has concluded that Bullard died of natural causes. He was 63. Bullard moved into his home on Rampo Way several years ago, but was rarely seen about town. He was a private and reclusive man who seemed to have few friends. Bullard raised eyebrows last year when a former student, a pretty young woman named Josie Herrera, moved in with them. Bullard's will, written in 1957, leaves his entire estate to his ex-wife, Cynthia Peckman. Peckman will reportedly sell the house and its contents immediately. Harris was a genius in his discipline, said Graham Wellington, a former colleague. The field of neuroscience is considerably poorer without him. Alright, so he was a retired recluse, found dead in his study, and police ruled death natural. Bobby Sawyer ran errands for Bullard, who also found the body. Bullard's live-in assistant, Josie Herrera. Cynthia Peckman, ex-wife, inheritor of the estate. Good Lord, her chin could be her eyebrows. Alright. Graham Wellington, former colleague of Bullard. A small parcel tied tightly with twine. Can't open it with my bare hands. Oh, found the key. It's a small key. Small key. Investigate the crime scene. This is a very interesting way it's doing this. Guess I need to stand here. This drawer is missing a knob. Can't open it. Somewhere a drawer is missing its knob. Looks like the movers pushed it over here. If my arm wasn't broken, I could push it back. Okay, in we go. I'm not digging the movement. Like, the movement's all completely automatic. This is where Bobby Sawyer found Bullard's body. He's been dead for a couple days, though. He's a very small man. Yep, I'm just gonna walk right on it. Perfect. What do we got? The Snow Woman, adapted from original translation by Lafcadio Hearn. An old man and his son climbed a mountain to collect firewood. It began to snow heavily, and unable to make it back home, they decided to pass the night in a small hut. In the middle of the night, the young man awoke to see that the door had blown open. A tall woman with long hair and white kimono was leaning over his father, blowing her breath upon him. When she saw that the son was awake, she said, "You're a handsome young man, so I will let you live. But if you ever speak of this to anyone, your life shall be forfeit." Music's kind of loud. Is the music loud? Is that a Kodama? It's a clay statue with a weird face. Someone likes Animal Crossing. I've never seen a map laid out like this. There's a spot marked with an X on it. An X indicated on the map. Why mark such a beautiful map? I think the X is over Japan. Just a regular lamp. So is the music too loud then? I think. Go to the main menu, objectives. It's a little loud. For some reason the games aren't offering volume options. Man, I don't like the way they're doing the movement. The dial tone. It's a note with a foreign symbol on it. Underneath it reads North. Harris Bullard, I am Woodcutter. Your past has caught up with you. It is over. What's this? Who is this Woodcutter? Woodcutter threatening Bullard. Pair of scissors. I can use these to open the package in the other room. Something's typed out here, but the paper is so far into the feeder that I can't pull it out. What the shit? Of course you could pull it out. Joe, something is after me. It's creeping around the house, trying to get in. I'm sure of it. I heard footsteps outside and creaking on the roof. It's not safe here. I've taken the idea of focal lenses from their normal location and hidden them in my study. I've sent you a package that you'll know what to do with. Check the map for the mask. As usual, X marks the spot. Harris. P.S. The sequence is west, east, north. Bullard hid something in this room. Very suspicious. A great hook for my opening paragraph. So wait, what was that? Oops. Newspaper clippings, miscellaneous. Snow Woman. There's the coroner report. Harris William Bullard, 58 years, date and time of death, on or about September 18th, 1965. Date and time of report, September 21st. 1. Autopsy performed on Logan Hospital by Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Winters. Cause of death, failure of the pancreas due to age. Subject was found approximately 2 days after death. Notable aspects of remains: elevated glucose evident in bloodstream, small tension on inner lining of lesions on inner lining of stomach. Blood under fingernails, evidence of significant dehydration. Summary of findings: subject suffered shock from pancreatic failure and was incapacitated for some time before dying. Investigative Officer Daniel Day Winters. Okay, this isn't what I'm looking for. What was... West, east, north. Alright. So there's north. Hang on, there's something under that couch cushion. There's a page from a manuscript here. The man who could see with his skin. In 1926, I met a man who could see with his skin. His eyes were sealed with wax and bandaged, yet he remained aware of the room around him. We held up signs which he read, and fingers which he counted, even when we stood behind him. After the performance, I gave him $200 for the secret. He explained that he could see as long as some part of his skin remained exposed to the air. He described it as a shift in the wind or a slight of the breeze on his face. The subtle motion of the hair on his arm. After years of focus and practice, he had developed the ability to form a mental image of his surroundings based only on these slight sensations. This man had achieved a form of idea focus. Granted, he only had access to a very narrow range of sensory information, but the result was powerful. I immediately resolved to discover the secret of his ability. Now, almost 4 decades later, I'm very close. There's a newspaper clipping here. It reads, Eyeless Joe, found dead in hotel. Weird. It's a picture of a woman. She's wearing a white kimono and standing in the snow. It's a record player. There's no record inside. Hello? What's this? It looks like a tiny camera lens. This room is a regular library. Some of these volumes looks ancient. It's all covered in dust. One of Bullard's diplomas. Doesn't turn on. Guess it's broken. Kind of feels like they're looking at me. What did they see in this room? These masks make me uncomfortable. I think I've seen masks like this before. Maybe they're Japanese. It's a weird looking mask. Bullard had some pretty advanced degrees. This one is from the University of Chicago, 1935. Boy, I'd love to visit Chicago. Quantum mechanics and functional analysis. Not exactly light reading. It's full of technical books. I wonder if Bullard actually read them all. Did we open these drawers? Yeah, we did, didn't we? Oh, no, we didn't. It's another lens. I found 2 of them now. Pitch black drawer. Right. I guess we need to go out and open that package, right? Hello? It's only September, but today is cold and dark. Fall is here, I guess. Okay, I guess there are going to be some spooks, so... There are going to be some spooks. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of a more of a point and click, but yeah. It's addressed to J. Harris, and it was sent from downtown Grove. The parcel is tied up tight. I need something to cut the twine. Okay. Quaden. It's an old book. It says Quaden on the cover. Whatever that means. The author is Lefcadio Hearn. Apparently I can use it. Did all the research for that story, but Bob put his name on it anyway. Oh. But that wasn't working. Let's walk right over that. That's weird. I could have sworn the TV was off before. Doesn't turn on. Guess it's broken. Okay. Is there anything else in here? Door's locked from the other side. There's no keyhole. Issues of the Journal of Physiology and a bunch of medical books with names I can't pronounce. A quantitative description of membrane current and its application to conduction and excitation in nerve by Hodgkin and Huxley. This is doctor stuff, although Bullard was some sort of engineer. We found the sticker for north, but there's no other stickers indicating anything else. And we've got lenses. Why such a beautiful map? One of them appears to be missing. It's weird that my body is like... Oh wait, there's a book missing. I can't push the book in all the way back. It feels like it's hitting something. Wait, there's something jammed way back there. It's a flat triangular wedge. There's some sort of foreign writing on it. Okay, what was that? Wood wedge. Okay. Series of books. Alright, well, we've got a couple lenses, but I'm not sure what to do with the lenses. There's a wedge. The player's empty. Something about this painting makes me uncomfortable. It's very bleak. Just looks like Gove. I wonder if it's by a local artist. Huh. Can lift up the cushions. I think it's called a banker's lamp. It's only September. Right. So I have a wedge, a kendama figure. What else? Why so surprised, little guy? Appears to be missing. I'm not quite sure what to do here. That one's special. Maybe. No. I'm not sure what to do here. Go back out there, I guess. Well, there was the clue. So maybe maybe that's telling me the direction. So if that's north, hang on. Taking the lens from their normal location, I've hidden them in the study. Sent you a package you know what to do with. Check the map for the mask. As usual, X marks the spot. Sequence is west, east, north. Check the map for the mask. So we're gonna assume this is north. So then what? Check the map for the mask. What does that mean? X marks the spot. X is over Japan. Getting some feedback here. There. The headphones. Something unlocked. That door. Door's locked. Oh, wait. So if that's north, that was... Hang on, so it was... Oops, damn it. Oh, it's open. It's a small box. Let's get a better look on it. On the desk. Okay. One of the buttons is missing. So wait, what was it? East... West, east, north. So, wait. But that's north. It's a trick. That's north. So, west, east, north. No? West. There we go. Oh. I see. The lenses fit into the mask's eye sockets. It's like a weird pair of goggles. Whoa. Hi? Who is that? Is there something more to this painting? There was a page taped to the back. If you're reading this, Josie, what happened to Josie? If you're reading this note, then something must have happened to me. I may be dead or missing. If so, you're the only person who can save our research. The truth is that I'm being threatened. It started before I left the college. I get the notes every few months from somebody calling himself Woodcutter. What he wants is access to our research. He wants me to turn over our plans for the lunar dream apparatus. Josie, my life is in danger. Woodcutter knows things, secret things about my past that nobody should know. I'll not yield to simple blackmail. But lately, blackmail by the Woodcutter, primary suspect. Ordered by Bullard to destroy their research and split. I knew there was more to this story, but whatever Bullard's mixed up in, I bet there's evidence in that safe. Who was the woodcutter? Open the safe upstairs. Okay, but I didn't get to read all of that. But lately, the threats have escalated. I'm sure that I'm being watched at the house. I sometimes hear things on the other side of the wall. Yesterday, with the mask on, I thought I saw somebody reaching for me. It's a warning from my subconscious. I am no longer safe here. I have locked our research away in the safe upstairs. I want you to retrieve it and leave. Destroy everything before you go. Burn the house down if you have to. Just get the research and get out of here. Head for the big city where it's easy to hide. Okay. So we have this mask thing now. Yeah, I see dead people. We have this. That mask glows white. Kind of feels like they're looking at me. So I guess we need to go back to the other room now. By the way, I don't know which way I'm facing anymore. I can't. Oh, that's the forward. Is it? Yeah, there's the back. All right. My hunch was right. Bullard's death is definitely fishy. Better stop and review my notes. Harris Bullard's body was found by... Oh, shit. It was found by Bobby Sawyer, right? That's it. Bobby ran odd jobs for Bullard, but could he have done it? He certainly had the opportunity. Bullard was scared. He was worried about losing his secret research. Blackmail. I knew this would be a scoop. Somebody wanted Bullard's research. He must have been killed for it. Bullard was being blackmailed by the woodcutter. Woodcutter. What is that supposed to mean? This is the kind of juicy detail I came here to find. Okay, to sell this story, I need some real evidence. Let's go check out that safe upstairs. I hate it when I don't get control of which direction I face, though. I can see why some people said this game made them nauseous, because if you're not used to the being moved uncontrollably. I feel like in this game I don't need a body, though. Left or right? Let's go left. No. Doesn't look like there's a safe up here. Not much of interest. There's like a hidden panel in here somewhere. Doesn't seem to be a lot in the wardrobe. Hero says helicopter may win Vietnam War. Da Nang. South Vietnam. A Medal of Honor winner from Kansas said today the helicopter may win the war in South Vietnam. Marine Major Douglas Big Tom Thompson, 39, of Fortuna, won the nation's highest military award during World War II, meaning a bazooka in Iwo Jima. Major Thompson is attached to the Marine Helicopter Squadron operating along the coast and northern border of South Vietnam. Thompson's father lives in Wichita, Kansas. As a leatherneck, Thompson destroyed 16 Japanese strongpoints and killed 75 Japanese on Iwo Jima in 1945. He is the only Medal of Honor winner currently serving in Vietnam. The most effective weapon the Viet Cong use is terror, the big pipe-smoking Marine said. The most effective one against them is the helicopter. Terrible war. What do we have here? Dear Diary, today is an anniversary. It was 5 years ago today that I found Dad's name on an old research paper in the U of C. He had written it in 1933, 8 years before I was born. I didn't know he had gone to college. I had never really thought about his life. He was just a name on my birth certificate. Dad ran out on Mama after the war. He had gone off to fight just never came back. When he stopped writing, Mama thought he'd been killed. I remember her crying at the kitchen table. The war ended, life went on. Mama died without ever finding out what had happened to him. I used to hate him, hated the idea of him, hated my mother a little bit too. I figured Dad was just a deadbeat who ditched Mama because he didn't want a kid. But when I found his name in the library, something changed. I couldn't stop thinking about him. Deadbeat dads don't study physics, do they? What is he doing now? What does he look like? Is he married to somebody else? I traced him here to Kansas, but finding him is taking longer than I expected. Josie Herrera came to Kansas to look for her father. Okay, so this is Josie's room, I guess. Who needs anybody? Something is holding the lid closed. There's a small dial mounted on the front. Okay, can I... Hello? Not you.
It might say reporter on my desk, but I spend most of my time at the Standard making coffee for my editor. I'm tired of writing the gossip column. This story is my shot at the big leagues. When I prove that Bullard was murdered, all the big papers will come calling. I'll finally escape this backwater town. This is it, the chance I've been waiting for.
So I guess if you find a handprint, you get like some of her backstory, I guess. What else do we have? It's just a regular lamp. Mom has one like this at home. Right. Must be Josie Herrera's room. Ah, found something. Bobby, here's your latest chapter all typed up. I think this story is becoming very interesting, and I'm sure you can get it published. I hope you don't mind, but I made a few edits and inserted a few details here and there. I'm looking forward to your next chapter, Joe. Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, Chapter 3. The man has been dead for hours when they found him. He had crawled halfway up Sarah Johnson's porch steps before coming to rest just outside the door, his feet dangling off the edge like spaghetti that somebody had cooked too long. Old Sarah just about keeled over when she saw him. The man was inked. Weird lines crisscrossed every inch of his skin, like Indian war paint. Even his eyelids were marked. The tattoos made him look like some African shaman out of National Geographic, except that he was white and was wearing work overalls 2 sizes too big. Jimmy, the only cop on duty at the 6 in the morning, thought maybe the man had escaped from a chain gang. Jimmy was never the sharpest tool in the shed. Detective Henderson, though, he is as smart as a whip. He had photos taken of the body, all naked and everything. He put the pictures up on his wall and at the little station in the middle of town and started moving them around, turning them this way and that, until the tattoo edges started to line up. It took him 3 days, but he put it together like a jigsaw puzzle, until the thick lines all connected to the thin lines, and the overall shape became clear. Would you believe it? It was a map. When the coroner cut the man open, he found his insides were all twisted into the same map, and when they sawed into the man's bone, they found the map there too, etched into the marrow like rings on a tree stump. Well, that's how we first found our way to the cave. So Bobby Sawyer was an aspiring fiction writer, and Josie was helping Bobby with his writing. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything else in here. The window. Hello, crows. The window is painted shut. Remember when Moon's players Xeno Gears and did lots of raiding? We're back. Yeah, I can already feel my voice like starting to kind of have a few issues. That chair looks pretty comfortable, but I don't have time to rest. Alright, let's look in the mirror. Hi there. Press X or grip to equip goggle. Oh yeah, we need to... Oh, we can just use grip to... Josie moved in with Bullard last year after he retired. The busybodies had a field day. Oh. Well, we know this. But I can't do anything with it. I don't think I have anything, no. I'd look out the window. They're burying something outside. Alright, well. Also, my box isn't coming up. My little safety frame that I can tell where I'm at isn't showing up in this, so I might end up stepping out of frame. If I do, let me know. We'll do that soon. There are pieces of torn up photo here. Perfect. It's an old photograph of two men on a ship. James Lowry and Harris Bullard, USS Essex, 1943. Everything in the drawers has been packed up already. Alright, fine. Something over... Hi! Okay, there's something over there in that corner. We'll check that in a bit. Harris Bullard, I am Woodcutter. I know your secret. James Lowry sends his regards. This woodcutter character is my prime suspect. I bet his blackmail scheme went south, so he killed Bullard. So here's the safe. Find the safe combination. H. Bullard, Daily Log, November 2nd, 1964. We did a test run of the ideal focal lenses today. At first, we did not know how to interpret the results, but now I believe they are working better than we had anticipated. Instead of an unfiltered stream of sensory information, what we are seeing is subconscious memory. The lenses distort in response to visual stimuli that the wearer has some knowledge of. They see what my conscious mind cannot. Josie proposed that what we are really doing is mining dreams. Dreams are, after all, a form of ideofocus. A time when the subconscious comes forward and shows us truths that we might not otherwise recognize. What we are striving for is unrestricted access to dream thought. As a control mnemonic, the mask works pretty well. I could tell that Josie was dubious at first, but now she understands subconscious thought is potentially dangerous to the subject. We will need a physical object to enable the mind to compartmentalize, providing the wearer with some degree of cognitive protection. Permanent augmentation will require a much larger apparatus. We will need some other kind of focus mnemonic to help the brain control the deluge of the dream information it will receive. Something large and ubiquitous, the moon perhaps. The lens in this weird mask, dream thought, the moon? It's a me! The room is like a tomb. The air is so stale I can barely breathe. It's different outside. All the wheat and everything is gone. Bullard's bed, everything boxed up and ready to move out. The bedside table has been emptied already. No useful evidence here. Hang on, let me move over here.
Bill told me to cover Bullard's death, but he's just looking for gossip about the young assistant. But I took it seriously, did the research, followed every lead, like a real journalist would. It paid off. I found something everybody else missed. A note, a half-thought, scribbled in the margins of the coroner's draft report. It read, "Hypothermia in summer?"
It was Moon all along. Unless it comes to check on me first. Well, I see what I need's over there, but the fireplace is full of logs. Indeed it is. It's a plate with a circular dial. Okay, well we know where that goes. Hi, you still up there? Alright. Really is like a point and click, but it's just such a weird experience in VR. Like, I can understand how the experience is better in VR versus a flat screen because, you know, I'm here. So I can see maybe why people that don't play it in VR, don't witness it in VR, it looks maybe less appealing. I mean, it's not ultra appealing. Hang on, where am I at? Move forward, because I could feel my foot on the light behind me. Something is holding, yeah, we know. Ah, it's this puzzle again. Woo! Small wooden knob. Small knob. I know a few of those. Dear Diary, today Dr. Bullard and I built a chassis for his new weather device. It's weird, as usual. I don't really get why we're building it, but Dr. Bullard doesn't explain things. Tomorrow I need to go buy some bottles for the base. Today was Mama's birthday. She would have been 54. I bet she would have liked the work I'm doing now. I hope she's proud somewhere. I had the nightmare again last night. It's been over a year since I had it last, but it never changes. I've written about it over and over, but the writing seems to help, so I'll tell you about it again. I'm 5 years old in our apartment in Chicago. It's dark. I've gotten out of bed to get some water, but I hear something coming from Mama's room. I peek in and see a tall man standing over her. He has his hands around her neck. He's breathing hard, and in the cold night air, I can see his breath. It streams out of his mouth like smoke and seems to cover her. There isn't any breath coming from Mama. She's already dead, but he continues to squeeze. When I was a kid, I thought the dream would go away when I grew up. It hasn't. Has recurring dreams about her mother's death. Rats, the safe combination isn't in here. I'm pretty sure I saw a drawer, the missing knob, downstairs. Ah yeah, the center drawer in the foyer was down there. I'll touch all the knobs. Hi? The window. What the shit? That was weird. Hello? Am I like dead or something? I can't actually do anything. There's nothing I can click on. Oh, there. Oh, this path I'm on. Hi. What is this place? Guess that's what I get for touching knobs, right? Huh? I'm back here. This looks familiar. Am I going in circles? I am going in circles. Hi again. Wait, I think the bird's telling me which way to go. Nope. Getting closer, I can feel it. What's going on here? I don't understand. You died. This is where the knob touchers go when they die. The lost winter in the Lost Woods in Zelda, yeah. Guess I'm going in the freezer. Well, this is different. Oh, hi. Oh, it's you. Gonna say anything? Alright. I'll just go in. The man in the raincoat. Was that Woodcutter? This axe is stuck in so deep into the ground that I can't get it out with one arm. I must have hit my head. Well, I guess I did come out the window. I'm not leaving until I figure out what's going on. Yeah, smart, I guess. Dr. Bullard, I followed your instructions to calibrate the Tempest prognosticator. Your concern was correct. The bottles must be placed from heaviest to lightest to produce accurate results. The actual weight depends on the leech used, so I have to calibrate every time we want to take a reading. Also note that recalibration is required if the battery in the base dies. However, the device works as intended once the model is in line precisely with the moon. It may then be used to start the Lunar Dream apparatus safely. Bullard's research is crucial to the story. I wonder if I can get this thing working. Calibrate the device. It's a scale. There's a couple things here. Let's check this out first.
Marguerite Higgins is my hero. She won a Pulitzer for her reporting in Korea. I went to college because of her. She goes to war zones, marches with the troops. Nothing scares her, and she gets the story. Marguerite Higgins doesn't run from a juicy story just because her life is in danger. Neither will I.
November 15th, 1960. Dear Harris, I read in the paper today that you received a special award from the college for groundbreaking research. I am writing to wish you my sincere congratulations. I've said some things that I regret, but today I wish only to extend good wishes to you and your future endeavors. Do you know the scene in North by Northwest when Cary Grant disrupts an art auction? He makes nonsensical bids until the police are called to haul him away. I saw it last summer at the cinema we used to drive to in Logan. It was lonely to go alone, but that scene made me smile. My life feels like that sometimes. I poke my head up and say something crazy every now and then, just on the off chance that somebody will take me away from all this. I'm no Cary Grant, I'm afraid. I would like to hear from you. Please write back. Sincerely, Cynthia. She misses Bullard. Chapter 4, The Subconscious Mind. The human brain, at some level, is not unlike the pot that produces my coffee every morning. The water I pour into it is infused with the qualities of the roasted bean. The grounds themselves do not pass through the filter, but the liquid that collects in the carafe is no longer simply water. It has been permanently altered. Every part of my body is a sensitive instrument. My skin, my eyes, my muscles, my tongue. If I am a coffee pot, this stream of physiological information is the water, and my conscious mind is the coffee in the carafe. And the sieve of the filter that makes the drink palatable is the subconscious mind. I have no idea what you just said. Right, so we have to like calibrate this thing. What's going on out there? Door is stuck. There are electronics inside and it looks like a battery. Okay. I'm on the other side of the piano. That voice, yeah, the voice almost does sound automated. It's so, like, stiff. The hearth is covered in ashes. There's something written here? Fireplace broom. Series of faint symbols. Star, circle, square. Okay. Portrait of Bullard feels like he's looking at me. Is he? If I walk over here. The Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, Chapter 8. This is hurting my ears. The passage continued downward, a steep slope like we were going down a hill. The smooth crystal didn't give our feet purchase, and we were trying our best not to slip. It was dark as night, but the light from our helmets reflected strangely from the walls, making them dance blue. Once or twice I thought I saw a flicker in the glass, but it was just a trick of the light. It was cold down there. None of us was wearing a jacket. It dawned on us that we had come totally unprepared. A few hours before, we had been whooping and shouting, excited by the crazy angles that cut the crystal entrance out of the cave wall, sure that we'd found something that was going to make us rich. Now we walked in silence. Henderson's face wore a hard, determined look. Johnson's was all suspicion. Jimmy just looked scared, his skin pale and his eyes wide. I opened my mouth to say something to him, then shut it. Either we'd find a way out or we'd die down here. All there was to it. It was then that Johnson screamed. Oh. Pulling a Blair Witch, are we? Another robot.
Dad took me to Wichita once before he died. We drove for 4 hours to get there, ate hamburgers, and watched a movie. Then we went home. He never explained, just told me to get in the car. I guess he knew he was going to die.
Okay. A lot of reading going on. You have to head off for a brief run at work. Have fun not getting shanked by the coke guy. Alright, have a good one, Rick. H. Bullard, Daily Log, May 24th, 1962. Cynthia called me today. She sounded drunk. Sometimes I think she calls just to get a rise out of me. I maintained my calm this time, declined her invitation to meet, and told her in no uncertain terms that if she was looking for money, she had best look elsewhere. And now I'm going to get drunk myself. Graham came by my office this morning. He had a strange-looking envelope. It was addressed to me, but had been pushed under his door. It bore no return address, just a single word, woodcutter. I had to run to class and haven't had a chance to open it yet. But something about it makes me uncomfortable. I hope it's not another love letter from a student. Graham is a weasel. He's never stepped foot in the lab or run an experiment, but he makes it sound like he's the brains behind the whole program. Without me, he'd be a washed-up theorist with nothing to his name. Bullard wants nothing to do with Cynthia, thinks little of Wellington. National recognition for local college. July 2nd, 1965. Washington, D.C., the National Academy of Science announced its annual picks for leaders in science academia on Wednesday. Among the recipients of this prestigious award was our own Oakley College in Logan. The college won recognition for a controversial research paper published by the school's small neuroscience department last year. We are very proud to have our work recognized in this way, said Dr. Graham Wellington, chair of Oakley's Brain Studies program. We are a very small program focused on areas of research that big schools ignore. We applaud the Academy of Science for giving us the chance to prove ourselves. The award-winning paper, authored by Wellington and Dr. Harris Bullard, was written in 1962, but only published last year, titled Accessing Subconscious Waves Through Twisted Pair Electroencephalography. The highly technical paper caused some controversy in the neuroscience community and was ridiculed by many experts in the field. The paper was the source of some local tumult as well. This paper was written entirely by Dr. Bullard, said one Oakley student who did not wish to give his name. Wellington just put his name on it and took all the credit. Bullard, who retired from the school last year, could not be reached for comment. So he claimed credit for a research paper that Bullard wrote. Sheet music is scattered all over the floor. Was Bullard a musician? I didn't know that. Music mystifies me. I don't even know what this is. Some sort of concerto? Work order, September 24th, 1965. Invoice A7643 by Cynthia Peckman. Packing labor. 20 hours times 3 workers. Rate $125 an hour. Estimated total $75. Transportation and storage 5 hours times 3 workers. Rate $125 an hour plus gas. Estimated total $22. Materials estimated total $18. Total $115. Notes. Client wishes to keep large items, piano, unpacked for sale at auction. Do not pack contents of guest bedrooms, second floor, left side. Not owned by client. Client is still looking for a key to first floor study. Will provide by 9/26. All expensive looking items are to be packed separately for immediate sale. Okay. And there's supposedly something right here. There's some loose floorboards here. Let me guess. If I can get this poker wedged into the board, maybe I can pry it up. There's hidden space under the floorboards. Oh, here's where... So what was it? It was... Star... Circle Square? Yep. Sorry, I'm coughing right into the microphone instead of away from it. My throat's getting dry from all this reading. Sorry. It's an old metal key. Bill, I owe you many thanks for forwarding my request to the New York Times. I think we have an opportunity to tell great science stories of the 20th century and make a considerable sum in the process. The Times is a great first step, but when we are finished, I want to have headlines written about me on the front page of every paper in the country. The key to our success is Harris Bullard's brain research. He has discovered something fundamental about the operation of subconscious brain waves, and I believe that he will soon harness this knowledge to build a device whose object is to make men superhuman. Our first task is to procure this device before Bullard can publicize it, and my plans for accomplishing that are already in motion. Once the device is in my hands, I am confident that I can reproduce and improve upon his work. That, Mr. Mitchell, is where you come in. An invention of this magnitude must not be consigned to the boneyard of the academic journal. It deserves praise and recognition for the common man. We will make it the story of the year, and then we will sell the technology to those rich enough to meet our price. For now, we wait for Bullard to finish the device. Then we will make our move. I look forward to your continued cooperation in this mutually beneficial partnership. Best regards, Graham Wellington. So Graham Wellington is conspired to steal Bullard's research. L20, okay, this is the combo to the safe. Perfect. Now we just have to get to the safe and not get stabbed. This might be the key, though. Door's stuck. There are electronics inside. I don't suppose we can use the key, right? Bottle marked with the letters B. There's a leech inside. Strange device of bells at the top. There's slots for small bottles. I don't think I've seen any other bottles. What else do I have in my inventory? The key, the knob, that. These boxes are ready to go. Somebody was in a rush to pack this stuff. Cupboard's been mostly emptied. Pots and pans, they haven't been packed very well. Also, I have no idea where I'm at on screen right now, so I know I'm kind of facing away from you guys a bit. Stovetop is clean, probably works. Also gotta look out for like handprints too, because that's our little sub story. Coffee? A coffee can that's frozen shut. I can hear something rattling around inside. Wonder if I can warm it. Stovetop is clean and probably works. Nope. I'm getting twisted. I'm getting twisted up here. Bobby, here's the list of supplies this week. I know you're angry that I haven't paid in a month, but please wait a little bit longer. I have some money coming, and I'll be able to pay you soon. Beans, cigarette, tonic water. White bread, butter, eggs, copper wire, 3 feet, solder spool, vinyl tape, gasoline, butane, leeches, as many as you can get alive. So Bobby Sawyer was... Bullard owed him money. Harris Bullard, I am woodcutter. You will complete your research and then hand it to me. Or we can discuss the South Pacific in 1944. Okay. So we need to... The dude's not in here? God, I'm getting some feedback in my headphones here. Harris Bullard, I am woodcutter. You have 5 days. I am coming. It's full of dishes. Geez, looks like they threw him in here. I had like a cracker. My mom had one of those cracker containers. January 2nd, 1961. Dear Harris, Happy New Year. I suppose I am wasting my time by writing you again, but the new year always makes me think about the past. I was very upset when you did not respond to my last letter. I was told that you refused my calls at the college. I understand that you are still angry, and for that I cannot fault you. But unlike you, I have gotten past our little meltdown. I have grown to see it as the inevitable terminus of our relationship, something that had to happen sooner or later. Like spilt milk, as they say, it's not worth crying over. But I do have a request. I will make it plain, Harris. I need money. Some of my investments went bad last year, and with Kennedy in the White House, soon the others will certainly fail. You may hate me now, but I cannot believe you still consign me to a life of poverty. Somewhere deep down inside you, under that mask you wear in your daily life, I know you must still feel something for me. Please say you'll help me, just this once. Put down the mask and trust your feelings. Humbly and sincerely, Cynthia. So, was over Bullard, but wants money for her gambling debts. Okay. It's a bottle. The letter D is printed on the label. It's a pantry. If he had this much food, what was Bullard paying Bobby Sawyer to get? There's enough here to feed a person for months. Pantry was stocked. Bullard could survive for a long time on this stuff. Assorted canned goods. Peaches, corn. You know, all the good stuff. All kinds of canned food. Stuff that doesn't go bad for ages. In a pantry. Use the old key to unlock the door. Oh, hi. Ew. Oh. There's the leeches. Hey, Chrome Warrior. Cold winter increases risk of exposure. Kansas City, Kansas. With temperatures below 20 degrees for most of the state, experts warn that deaths from hypothermia are on the rise. Several deaths have already been attributed to the cold this year, including 2 hikers found south of Ottawa and a man in Wichita. December is one of the deadliest months, said Charles Manning, chief medical examiner at Ottawa PD. People don't realize how cold it's gotten out. How cold it's gotten and go out unprepared. Profound hypothermia occurs when a person's core body temperature drops below 90 degrees Fahrenheit. However, scientists do not yet understand why the deep cold kills some people and spares others. According to Manning, men are at greater risk than women, and the cold is particularly dangerous for thin people. Identifying death by hypothermia can be a challenge, said Manning. If the victim is found in the snow with his clothes half off, then we know. But sometimes bodies aren't recovered until much later, often without a mark on them. Scientists do not understand why some victims of hypothermia remove their clothing, a phenomenon called paradoxical undressing, while others do not. Last March, the body of a 30-year-old woman who had been missing for several days was found near Topeka. After failing to identify the cause of death, the coroner chalked it up to exposure to the elements. The easiest way to stay safe is to not go out in the cold, especially at night, said Manning. If you must go out, make sure that other people know where you're headed and dress warmly. If you're in a car accident, stay in the car. Don't try to hoof it to the next town on your own. There's another bottle. Bottle with the letter A printed on the label. The toilet is a lot newer than the house itself. There is so much written in this. January 8th, 1956. As I sat idly by the window today, watching the snow slowly cover the fields, I remembered the story of the Snow Woman. I first encountered it in the thin volume of Japanese folk tales that somebody loaned me on the base in Yokohama, and a decade later it is the only story from the collection that I can recall. The Snow Woman is a fascinating character. She's a monster, a murderer, a force of nature. Yet she has human qualities as well. Having fallen in love with a young man, she spares his life in order that she may appear to him later in another form and marry him. By telling her of his father's death, the man breaks a contract. But it's not just a contract between the man and the Snow Woman, it's a contract with the universe itself. It is what binds her to the mortal plane, allowing her to live as a human with the man she loves. By breaking his promise, he has destroyed her life. She is no longer able to remain with him or with her family, even if she should want to. It is no wonder she is angry. Oh. Okay. Just ordinary soap. This is real. I could die here. It's a test. I can do this. I can do this. There's nothing special about the faucets. It's a flashlight. It doesn't have any batteries. I had that problem in the last game. The tiles are clean and pressed. Week in review. Johnson City, Texas. President Johnson boned up on reports and correspondence that LBJ Ranch today, pending arrival of the cabinet officials for the wide-ranging review of defense and foreign problems. Defense Secretary Robert S. McNamara and Deputy Defense Secretary Cyrus R. Vance were due to arrive by Jetstar at 3 p.m. CST and will remain overnight at the ranch. Saigon, South Vietnam. The Viet Cong mounted an assault on the Bien Hoa Airport in Saigon on November 1st. Washington has yet to comment on the impact of the attack on U.S. operations in Vietnam. In Neshoba County, is that Minnesota? No, that's Missouri. 18 men arrested by the FBI in connection with the murder of 3 civil rights workers are still awaiting formal charges from the state. The men alleged to be members of the Ku Klux Klan and are accused of murdering James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner with the tacit cooperation of the local police. 3 activists were visiting the area to investigate the burning of a church. Entertainment. The Supremes' Baby Love remains the top of the charts this week, followed closely by Oh Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison. At the movies, The Outrage opens this week. Paul Newman, Lawrence Harvey, and Claire Bloom star. Good times.
If Woodcutter killed Bullard, he was pretty sneaky about it. No marks on the body, no sign of a struggle. Coroner ruled it was pancreatic failure. How do you kill a man without leaving a mark on him? And why return to the scene of the crime?
Pillows. Toilet paper. Compared to the rest of the house, the bathroom is weirdly clean, almost sterile. The Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, Chapter 14. We rounded the corner and Johnson stepped ahead like he'd been given an electric shock. I about ran into him, cursing before I heard it. From somewhere far ahead, deep in the darkness, somebody was singing. A woman's voice. It echoed off the crystal walls and then seemed everywhere at once. The song was so faint. I listened hard but couldn't make out the words. The melody was odd, ghost-like, but it was definitely a person singing. Johnson turned and looked at me, but didn't say anything. We both understood. Somebody was down there. Somebody who must know the way out. We were saved. We broke into a run. Then, Johnson cradling his arm as we tried to cross the forest of the crystal. Scrambling over translucent beams of amethyst, big as fallen redwoods. I slipped, hit the smooth surface hard, got up again. We followed the woman's voice deeper and deeper into the cave. Jimmy got to the plateau first. I could tell before I made the rise that something was wrong. In the middle of the mesa was a sort of hatch, like something off the deck of a submarine. It was round and made of steel, and sticking out of it was a metal-looking locking wheel. The woman's song drifted up from it like smoke. I looked back at Johnson as I grasped the handle. He was out of breath, still clutching his wrist where his hand had been trying to keep the cloth tourniquets tight around the stump. He nodded, and I gave it a turn. The tub is full of leeches. This is disgusting. Okay, so we need to, fill the bottles with it. I need to find all 4 bottles first. Okay. The handle turns, but the door won't open. Something is blocking on the other side. Alright, so I gotta go this way. Or through that door. I didn't go through that door either. Unlock the door. Ah, we're back in here. Alright, well, let's hope Woodcutter Man isn't in here. The knob fits. Now I can open it. Damn it. A bottle with the letter E is printed on the label. One more to find. So let's see, we got the combo to the safe, so I guess we head upstairs. I was nearly murdered last time I was up here. Wonder if the note I found in the lockbox is the safe combination. Oh good, they tell me. So, left 20. Right 50. L10. Done it. Martin Bros. Construction. Receipt for service rendered. Date June 16. Total parts $1,134. Total labor $255. Total build paid in full. Notes: installed steel siding and insulated per specification. Ran electrical for fans and evaporator underfloor to connect to main line and basement. Compressor, evaporator, Freon tank, and ventilation installed and tested. Replace standard door handle with locking variety per customer request. Why lock a receipt like this away? Joe, this is the only remaining copy of our research materials. I destroyed the rest. Take this and get out of here. After I'm gone, they'll turn this house upside down looking for the answers. Josie, I know about the secret room behind your wardrobe. If you've stashed anything there, you must get rid of it. I already cleaned out the freezer. I'm counting on you. Take the files, destroy the machine, and get out of here. I knew there was something behind that thing. A secret room, and what Bullard have hidden in the freezer. Search the basement freezer. Explore Josie's secret room. The Lunar Dream Apparatus, altering the brain to achieve permanent idea focus. By H. Bullard and J. Herrera. Abstract. William Benjamin Carpenter's work describing the Carpenter effect over a century ago continues to baffle psychologists today. We have struggled to understand the linkage between the conscious and the subconscious, particularly the ways in which the subconscious mind seems to wield special knowledge of what the conscious mind is unaware. Our research attempts to give the conscious mind unfiltered access to all the information stored in the subconscious by creating an artificial bridge between the two. There's going to be a test on this later. I hope you're listening. We have done this in a rudimentary way with a set of lenses that reflect light by tracking alterations in brain waves, but a more robust connection requires permanent alteration to the brain. The Lunar Dream Apparatus combines engineering, psychology, neuroscience, and a bit of physics to create just such a connection. In order to give the subject some control over their own subconscious, we have chosen the moon as a mental mnemonic. After undergoing treatment in the Lunar Dream Apparatus, the subject's conscious and subconscious are merged whenever a full moon is visible. This paper describes the construction of the apparatus and its function, the details of our research, and data recorded from the first test subject, co-author Josephine Herrera. This must be what Woodcutter was after, the Lunar Dream Apparatus. Bottle. The letter C is printed on the label. Okay, we have all 4 of them. We're trying to close. Hello, monkey. Wait, I've seen this before. Pretty sure this wasn't here the first time I came in. Somebody must have put it here. Woodcutter? God, I thought I saw something in here. Fucking knew it. Josie, what were you up to? Too dark, isn't it? I need the flashlight. shit. Hello? This is weird. Whoa, Jesus! Fucking monkey. Battery. I need 2. Dear Diary, got a letter from Herreras today. They're good parents, even if they aren't my real parents. They sent the letter to me at Dr. Bullard's address, which means they know I'm living here. I wonder if they are worried. The whole town seems to have decided that the only reason I'd stay here is that I'm sleeping with him. I don't care what the small-minded bumpkins around here think, but I hope that the Herreras aren't worried. Maybe soon I can tell them what I'm really up to. Also, Bobby Sawyer gave me another draft of his novel. It's really weird, but I think it's pretty good. I've been typing up his manuscripts on Dr. Bullard's typewriter. I'm fixing mistakes and making little edits as I go. When he's done, he's going to submit the typed version to Amazing Stories or Worlds of Tomorrow. I hope they publish it. I don't know if magazines will even look at work by a black author. I told him to use a pen name. Tomorrow we run the first test of the Lunar Dream apparatus. Dr. Bullard doesn't think it's going to work the first time. I hope it does. I volunteered to be the first test subject. Maybe after the treatment, I'll be able to understand what happened to Dad. I don't think I can do anything else in here. And the big guy is gone. Just some old photos, but nothing else. Something's gonna happen, isn't it? I don't like this. Ooh, I don't like this. I stopped. Why did I stop? Why am I stopping? It's too quiet. And I'm half expecting to be chased now half the time. One of the masks is missing. Well, that's not good, is it? One of the masks is missing. So can we read this now? Because I'm assuming that's what's in here. Got it. Writing about Ouija boards in 1852, William Benjamin Carpenter was the first to describe the phenomenon known as the Ideomotor effect. The ideomotor effect occurs when the subconscious mind takes control of the body without the conscious mind realizing it. Ideomotor action is distinct from other forms of involuntary action because the responses are driven by existing knowledge and perception. The Ouija board, Carpenter suggested, is a clear manifestation. The participants unwittingly move the planchette because their subconscious mind is guiding them. Another example of this phenomenon is dowsing, the practice of using a divining rod to locate water or other materials buried underground. The dowser holds an instrument in both hands and allows it to lead him forward until it points down points down at the ground, seemingly by itself. For centuries, dowsing was believed to be a form of magic or witchcraft, but we now know that it can be explained by the ideomotor effect. Ideomotor effect. The dowser's subconscious mind is highly sensitive and is able to recognize cues in the environment of which his conscious mind is not aware. When these cues hint at the location of water, the subconscious mind takes control of the dowser's hands and causes him to rotate the rod to the ground. Since the conscious mind is not involved in this operation, the instrument seems to move on its own, pulled as if by some magical force. In reality, it is the dowser himself who is divining. His subconscious mind is responsible both for the detection of buried materials and for the motion of the rod. My research seeks to direct access to the knowledge stored in the subconscious mind, complete unfiltered linkage between the sensitive unconscious and the local conscious. I call this the idiofocus. Sorry, I've been mispronouncing it the whole time. It's idiofocus. He's gonna be in the fucking shower, isn't he? I filled each bottle with the leech. So hazy. So that note wasn't there before. H. Bullard, Daily Log, June 11th, 1965. Using the moon as a trigger for the lunar dream apparatus has its problems. The moon must be full or nearly so. The night must be clear and the process must be started at a very specific time to ensure that the moon is visible from inside the chamber. Josie's been following weather reports and using lunar charts to try to predict days for ideal test conditions, but it's an error-prone process. The data we get back from the weather service just isn't precise enough. Today I hit upon a solution. We'll build our own weather device. In fact, we can base it upon the exceedingly accurate design from a century ago, the Tempest Prognosticator. I'll have to make some modifications for our purposes, of course. I'm sure that with some tuning we can build a device that responds exactly to our weather needs. We'll need to get some leeches. Build strange device to track phases of the moon. We need to figure out the right order for these bottles. Oh yeah, we have to like weigh them, don't we? Also, still there? Sorry, internet is down. Oh, sorry to hear that. I need to figure out the right order for the bottles. So we need to figure out which is the heaviest. So C is heavier than A. C is heavier than D. C is the heaviest. Not by much. Wait. No. Oh, it's just being a bit awkward. Okay, so we find out C is the heaviest, so then E. Right. E is heavier than A. E is definitely heavier than D. Wait. You said it was E, right? Yeah. So then we need to figure out D. A is heavier. And then D. That did it. The bottles are all in order. Now to put them into the device. That did the trick. The moon moved into position. Lunar Dream Apparatus Calibrator. Okay, I put the batteries in the flashlight. It's working again. Okay, I guess the basement's the one door I haven't gone in. Oh shit. That was close. I'm stuck down here for now. I better find the light switch. Boy, I don't like this. Why would the light switch not be right at the top? Who would put a light switch anywhere else? Wait. I hate everything about this. Ugh. Spring is here, you know what that, or spring is here, you know what that means? Hours of household chores while men kick back and enjoy the sunshine. But don't let spring cleaning get you down. Let Mother Nature do the work for you. That's right, ladies, I'm talking about chemistry. With careful application of just a few household chemicals, your work will be done in no time. This handy guide covers a few of the most useful concoctions you can make at home. Have mold in the bathroom? Copper sulfate mixed with calcium oxide makes a great fungicide. Tired of trying to loosen a rusty screw? Just add borax to lemon juice to create a powerful rust remover. Does your man complain about your tap water? You can soften it by adding sodium carbonate. Don't waste time. Cleaning the hard way, a simple set of common chemicals can help you get the work done faster and smarter. Clean towels. Cleaning supplies. I don't like this because something's going to stare me in the face very soon. Everything about this is terrible. Instead of chemicals, none of them are labeled. Wonderful. This junk isn't going to help me get out of here. When my dad was alive, our basement looked like this. H. Bullard, Daily Log, June 12th. Today I turned in my resignation at the college. I have arranged for my lab to be moved to my house, and I am having the icebox installed next Tuesday. I've taken steps to ensure secrecy. Woodcutter may have forced me out of the school, but now the research can continue without his knowledge. I'm lucky that the house has such an interesting history. Josie came to my office as I was packing up. She was distraught, her eyeshadow all smeared. I've never seen a student so emotionally affected. She has been a valuable assistant this year, and research will be harder without her. It occurred to me to invite her to work with me at my home, but I hardly think she would have accepted. The young woman now holds a graduate degree in the esoteric neuroscience at the age of 23. What does she need an old man like me for? Boy, do I hate this. Also, what time is it? Oh, we got time. Jesus, fuck. Hey, buddy. Oh, handprint.
I haven't had a good night's sleep in 3 days. I've been giddy ever since I figured that this might be a murder case. Not even a broken arm could keep me down. But now that I'm here, the truth seems a lot more complicated. This story is my shot. Better make it count.
Wait. Did it turn me around? No. There's something strange here, but it's too dark to see. Shit. Hot water heater. Seems to be in good shape. I hate that I'm seeing my own hand. Well, I didn't think this game was actually going to be spooky, but it has definitely taken a spook turn. Hang on, I need that. Graham, for the last year and a half, I've been receiving threatening notes from somebody calling himself Woodcutter. He knows things about my past that I'd rather not have aired in public. After forcing me into early retirement, he now demands that I hand over all my work. Last night, I was supposed to deliver my research materials to him. Instead, I camped out nearby and watched the meeting point through my camera with the big lens. I can't say I was entirely surprised to see you show up. Some advice. Next time, try to extort personal property from somebody that doesn't arrange a meeting under a bright street lamp. I bet the photos would turn out great. You can make up names, try to spook me in my home, and threaten me all you want, but I'm not giving you my research, Graham. If you want it, you'll have to kill me. A word of warning, I won't go easy. I once broke a man's wrist with a ball-peen hammer, and I rather enjoyed doing it. I look forward to repeating that experiment with you. Harris. So actually, Graham Wellington is the woodcutter, supposedly. So, Graham Wellington blackmailing Bullard as the woodcutter. Bullard refuses to give Wellington's demands. Oh my god, I hate this. This absolutely sucks. Record. 78. There's nothing printed on the label. Hey, we need that for upstairs. Guess woodcutter's still up there. Identifying chemical compounds by their flame. In an emergency, you may need to identify a foreign substance. Many chemicals can be isolated by observing the color of the flame that they produce when burned. The chart below lists several examples. Call for subcutaneous green, lithium chloride, deep red. Okay, so... Let's try for mixing chemicals. Uh-oh. Let's not do that. We don't have a means to light that thing. Yet. Whoa, a secret panel. This crank looks like it's made to be detached. Better take it with me. What did that do? Oh, there's the... Oh! Thank God. That sucked. Whew. Okay, at least now I can see, but I'm getting twisted up because I'm turning so many times and I can't actually tell where I am anymore. Hang on. I'm also getting feedback here. There we go. Okay, yeah, we can go back over here and grab whatever this was. The heck is my body doing? Hey, one of the boards is loose. Slot in here. My God, I got a lot of stuff here. Damn it, the slot is rusted shut. Okay, we've got to figure out how to deal with the rusted thing. Oh, matches. Exactly what I need. Okay, so we need, oh my God. Collected documents, what was it? Daily logs. Research, newspaper clippings. Spring cleaning with chemistry. Okay, a rusty screw. Takes borax and lemon juice. Need borax and lemon juice. It doesn't help me though. I'm not sure what to do with that. Borax and lemon juice would get the thing done. Well, we can figure this out, right? What kind of mixture am I trying to make? I should figure that out first. Blue flame, this must be copper chloride. Orange, sodium borate, commonly known as borax. All right. Sodium borax, copper. This is lithium chloride. Sodium carbonate, soda ash. So I think can mix. Oh. And a borax. Let's try and turn that off. We need lemon juice. Something we don't actually have. Oh, the frozen can. We might be able to thaw this thing. Yeah. Let's turn that off. Okay, I need lemon juice. Still haven't been in here yet. Is that lemon juice? Bottle lemon juice. Perfect. Exactly what we need. September 4th, 1964. Are you enjoying yourself, Harris? Does it excite you to shun me, to treat me like garbage the way that you do? When you sit in bed with that little slut, do you smoke cigarettes and laugh about me? I know all about you, Harris. I know about the girl who's living at your house. You're old enough to be her grandfather, for Christ's sake. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm ashamed of you. The whole town is ashamed of you. You're a laughingstock, Harris, a public spectacle. Now you have Sawyer Kid running your errands for you. You don't even have the guts to show your face around town. Really, Harris, I thought you were more of a man than that. You cheat on me, bankrupt me, and deny me help in my hour of need, and still you are not content. Now, you insist on tarnishing my reputation with your lecherous antics. Do you think of no one but yourself? Can you really be the man I knew? My man in Louisville refused my bet this year, Harris. If I can't play the races, I don't know how I will survive. Your little vendetta will be the death of me. Do you understand? When they find me lying in the street, starved and thin and dead from exposure, the blame will be squarely on your head, Cynthia. So blames Bullard for personal bankruptcy. Just a bunch of old paint. Nothing useful. It's filled with random junk. Alright. Let's dump the lemon juice in here. I've made paste for removing rust. I don't need these other chemicals anymore. Paste has loosened the rust. I can move the crank now. That's pretty handy of me. Oh. I haven't tried to get in the freezer yet, and I still need to do that. So let's head over there real quick, because I didn't actually try to get in the door. But that I can. Freezer's locked with a padlock. Expected as much. This is a good time to review my notes. So, Cynthia Packman wanted money. Sounds like Cynthia is deeply in debt. She inherited Bullard's entire estate. Could she have done it? Graham Wellington has a secret. He was in love with Josie. He was being blackmailed. He is woodcutter. Graham Wellington has been trying to steal Bullard's research for himself. He must have murdered Bullard. Bullard was being blackmailed about his relationship, his tenure at the college. His relationship with Josie. No, that's not it. Wait, what? Being bullied about Cynthia's... Is my name James Lowry? Oh, I remember that name. Who is James Lowry, and why did Bullard want to keep his existence a secret? There's more to this story. Okay, Pat, let's see where this passage takes me. Hi. Good, he knows I'm down here. Great. It's a full moon out, though. Pretty sure the woodcutter knows I'm gonna come out here. Looks like this is the end of the line. What's this? Time. Hatch is sealed shut. Seems like the device is turned off. Oh, there's a cage up there. A blank page. Looks like a blank sheet of paper. Is there something special about it? Is this gonna be like a secret message thing that if I hold it over a fire? Canisters of some kind, they're connected to the pod. Hacksaw. Blade is rusted and useless. So I need a good blade. I could get something in there, but I guess not. This is the device Bullard was killed for. I need to figure out why it was so valuable. Investigate Bullard's machine. I can't open the doors. There's a small chain holding it shut. Okay. Well, we need the hacksaw, probably. H. Bullard Daily Log, September 15th, 1965. The main pod of the apparatus is complete. Today I tested each of the individual connections, but we won't really know if it works until we can do a proper test with a full moon. The weather conditions required by the device are very sensitive, and anticipating them is proving harder than we predicted. I must tread carefully now. Should Woodcutter know that the apparatus is functional, I would have no chance of stopping him. We must keep the work secret. I rarely venture from the house now. The device is too valuable to leave unguarded. Graham called again today. He knows I'm up to something. He tried his best to worm some details out of me, but his attempts at subterfuge were pretty feeble. The man is an incompetent scientist, but even more incompetent liar. Josie volunteered vigorously for the first time to be the first test subject, and I readily agreed. It's not going to work the first time anyway. So volunteered to be the first test subjects to test Bullard's new invention. So what happened to Josie? Alright, let's set up the ladder. Empty. The Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, Chapter 19. And it was brighter and brighter than the sun, but cold, so cold, cold, I could see my breath, and it was dark, and I heard her voice. It was the light and her voice. It was the light and her voice was the light and the cold, and she was thinking to me, talking like my mother used to talk to me, and it was, I think this is before Josie got it. And it was beautiful, the most beautiful voice I've ever heard, and I wanted to go there to be with her and feel her skin and see her eyes and be her eyes, but it was cold. I could see my breath, and there was an edge to her voice, sharp like a knife. Her voice had another voice under it, and it was sharp, and I thought maybe it was her real voice, and her voice was cold, and so hesitated, and then I could feel the warmth, and there was warmth, and it was all over me, and I could feel it, and I opened my eyes and saw the warmth, and it was blood. I'm guessing that's the unedited version. Also, I'm probably wandering off camera a little bit. I can't tell. If I wander like completely off camera, you gotta let me know. Although, apparently that's where I'm actually standing. Looks like a page torn from a notebook. Mama, respectful always. Outrageous hats, simply wonderful. Doors music, never angry, not forgotten, all alone. Josie Turner, age 10. Rosanna. First letters spell Rosanna. So there's something in there. Sharp hacksaw blade. Put the new blade in the hacksaw handle.
Graham Wellington wanted fame and glory. Josie Herrera wanted to find something precious. Cynthia Peckman wanted money. Bobby Sawyer wanted to be a writer. I wanted to get out of Kansas and start a real life. Now I just want to see my mother again.
Okay, seems to have repositioned me. That's good. Okay, so we can open this thing up because we've got the hacksaw. Okay, the console's powered up. Now to get it calibrated. How, though? Looks like something fits here. The base reminds me of that weird device. Okay. I see. This must be how the machine is calibrated. Okay, what now? I think the levers are used to start the device. I did it. It's on. I did it. The console's turned it on. This must be what Bullard and Josie were working on. Lunar Dream apparatus. But now what? What does this thing do anyway? Ending D? What? Shit. Oh no, you saw me! Dead end. Apparently I went the wrong way. Oh no, he's burning the place down. Okay. So we've got ending D. Well, this is a terrible spot. Me. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I can't go out the way I came in. I can't go to the door. Going up the ladder, hiding behind the thing. Oh, hide in the thing. Guess that's something to do. Hi. Nah. Well, okay. This is something different, at least. Hang on. So, I mean, I hit upstairs and he sets the place on fire, but I hide inside the machine, he doesn't set the place on fire? Knew it. It's the other doll. Weird looking clay statue. I can tell that it's really old. Okay. Hi. Fuck you. Where am I now? No. Looks like an old hand crank generator. This sucks. Something behind me. Something happened. Maybe there's an electricity in here. Roosevelt signs Cullen Harrison Act. D.C. today, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Cullen Harrison Act, or the Beer Bill, into law. The law gives states the authority to legalize the sale of beer and wine containing 3.2% alcohol or less. For many, the act marks the first step towards dismantling the Volstead Act and ending prohibition. Supporters of the act argue that prohibition has led to a rise in organized crime. A lot of small-time bootlegging operations just went out of business, said a local restaurant owner, whose name asked to be withheld. I heard shivering in here. Empty moonshine jug. Yeah, I actually closed my eyes before I turned. Let's see if I can get this thing going with one arm. Rats, there's no fuel. Bill, I made an incredibly fortunate discovery. About a month ago, a student came by with an old newspaper clipping he had run across. It was dated 1932 and contained a photograph of 4 men arrested in a Chicago police bust. One of them was the spitting image of our dear Bullard. The student thought the photo quite curious, particularly because the man pictured is identified by a different name, James Lowry. I laughed it off as coincidence and sent the student on his way. That evening, however, I became consumed with the insane idea that perhaps this was not happenstance after all. Could it be that in 1932 our own Harris Bullard was arrested under a different name? With the right connections, confidential police files are as easy to access as public records. I received today a carbon of James Lowry's 30-year-old arrest report. He was suspected of laundering money for a criminal organization, but was never formally charged. Sometime between his arrest and his release, his mugshot was taken. Thankfully, this photo was included in the documents I received. It's undeniably Bullard. It seems that there's more to our mutual friend than meets the eye. Best regards, Graham Wellington. What's this? Bullard isn't who he claims to be. Okay, it's getting interesting. Ancient bags of barley. Oh god, we're an old prohibition cellar, aren't we? This is the final step of the distillery process. A bunch of empty crates. This must have been a pretty profitable bootlegging operation once. There's still some alcohol left. Got it. It was full of alcohol. It smells like disinfectant. Might be enough to get things going. Looks like an old hand crank generator. Large barrel. Looks like alcohol that boils up into the furnace. J. Lowry, Daily Log, January 5th, 1944. Harris died today. The whole squad gone. The thing is, it should have been me. It was supposed to be on that sub. I asked Harris to switch with me this morning right as the crew was boarding. Told him I didn't feel well. Have never liked submarines. Harris was the only person I've ever really thought of as a friend. My associates in Chicago would stick a knife in my back without blinking an eye if they thought it would get them some dough. In fact, I'm sure that's what they intended to do the moment I step off this boat. Perhaps I should see Harris's passing as an opportunity. All of his things are here. Papers, his extra... Oh. His dog tags, the physics books he showed me. His passport is here. Everyone who knew us personally is at the bottom of the ocean. Even my dear friend Harris has provided me with a way out. So Lowry is him. What do you need a ladder for in here? Tell you what, I don't like this. Because I so totally heard a voice in here with me. And that's bothering me. This is the only way out. I think I can open the gate if I can get the power working. Well, that's the problem. Isn't it? I don't have anything to turn it into fuel, though. Wait. What happens if I redistill the moonshine? I'm not sure what to do with this. There's gotta be something I've missed. Do I have any other tools? No. Gotta be something I can do with this. I mean, I've got this moonshine. You would think you just put the moonshine in there. But I cannot. Wouldn't want to drink it, but I bet it's... For fuck's sake. Alright. Hi. It's a body, and it's still warm. That's where we passed through before. He's dead. I have to get out of here. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna skip the well. This bootlegging room was hidden at the bottom of this well. Hang on. The Crystal Cave by Bobby Sawyer, Chapter 23. What have you missed? Well, I kept getting killed by the other dude, and then got trapped in the dark. It was quite horrible, and now I made it out. Chapter 23. The room had changed while I slept. Though it was pitch black, I couldn't see my fingers in front of my face. I knew. Things had moved. The doorway was gone. The room had changed. Jimmy was still where I'd left him, though, all stiff now. I tore off a piece of his flannel shirt with my teeth and wrapped it fresh around my fingers. The bleeding had stopped, but I tied it tight anyway. The one time in my life being a southpaw did me any favors. When I reached out again, I snagged the corner of Jimmy's pants and felt something sticking out of his back pocket. It was a flashlight. Not his police standard issue, but a little pen light. The kind you see in the back of a Sears catalog. My fingers were shaking so bad it took me 3 tries to turn it on. Jimmy was curled up backwards in an O. His legs all tangled, arms almost touching his toes. He looked like the rubber man I saw once when Paula took me to the circus. The rubber man had bent all over, twisted his arms backwards, rolled up in a ball, and put his feet behind his head. Scared me half to death, and Paul yelled at me later for making a scene. I bet even the rubber man couldn't bend his back this far as Jimmy had, though. His mouth was open a bit, and something was wrong with it. I had to peer close with the flashlight before I figured it out. His teeth were missing. Oh. Shooting star. Nice. I guess for whatever reason, we're going back in the house. Seems like a smart idea. At this point, I just get my ass out. I don't know what this thing did to me, but I feel different now. Can I go back in the hatch? It's stuck. You missed all the phone. All the fun. Yeah, being trapped in the dark is not fun in this. It does get very spooky. Somebody blocked the door with this board. Okay, that's taken care of. I'm starting to understand. I just need to put the pieces together. Alright, the dead man in the underground room was... Wasn't Harris. But James Lowry and Harris were the same person, weren't they? Had to be Wellington. No, Wellington's... But it wasn't Bobby Sawyer either. Wellington is dead. That means the man in the raincoat is somebody else, but who? The truth about Harris Bullard is he's still alive. He's an imposter. He killed Wellington. He knew nothing of science. He's an imposter. It seems like Bullard's entire life is a forgery. He went to a lot of trouble to cover his past. Why? The man we know as Harris Bullard is really James Lowry. James Lowry stole Harris Bullard's identity. But then, where is the real Bullard now? Well, the real Bullard's at the bottom of the ocean, supposedly. That's why he took his identity. I'm close now. Just a few more riddles to solve. Jesus, fuck me. Don't do that. What was that? Okay, so this will take us in the office, and we can put the statue... The coup fails in Iraq. Just know they're the standard. Alright, now we're seeing the shit without the goggles anymore. We can play the record. Might be a bad idea. Let's put the statue up first. Key. Small key. It looks like the kind used for a padlock in the basement. April 7th, 1946. Dear Harris, I understand why you have not responded to my previous letters, why you have made every effort to avoid me, why you never wrote me during the war. I didn't want to admit it, but I'm tired of playing the fool. You found someone else. You don't love me anymore. I understand. I'm not even angry with you about it. You are a vile man. I thought you had died in the war, and yet here you are, living without us in Chicago, pretending to be out when I knock on your door. I wanted to look you in the eyes and ask you for the truth, but I don't need to any longer. You can rot in that little apartment of yours for all I care. What I do not understand is how you could do this to your own child, our child, the child you have never even met, the child I have raised for the last 5 years while you were doing God knows what in the Philippines. The child who has a father that came back from the war and won't even visit, won't even call. That's why you no longer want me, I understand, but for what you have done to your own little one, I'll never forgive you, Rosanna Turner. That address is circled on the back. Okay, well, I mean, we can play the record. Why do I have a feeling this is a bad idea? Like this is gonna summon the woodcutter. Just play the blasted thing. Is this a private record of Bullard? I'm starting to think Bullard is still alive and he may be the woodcutter. Wondering if there's anything else to this. So, what time is it? It's about time to go. Hopefully we'll wrap this up in a minute. We need to search the basement. We gotta search the freezer, and we've got the key. I can still hear the record. Alright. That's the last piece left to explore. Am I ready to move on? I mean, I haven't found out what's in the coffee can, but I guess there's no turning back after this. Oh, I'm gonna get locked in here, aren't I?
Hypothermia. Kills in a matter of hours and leaves no mark. Bullard died in his freezer. Or was it James Lowry? Now that I've gathered all the pieces, I just need to put them together. A scientist with a past, a dead colleague, an ex-wife down on her luck, a girl with no father, and a boy with no future, a snow woman, a full moon. Now I just need to get out of here alive.
Jesus, fuck you. Asshole. Thanks, I hate it. Who killed Harris Bullard? I guess they all had motive. Well, he was just owed money. He ended up dead anyway. So who could it have been? Was it any of them? I mean, he was owed money. She needed money. We found him dead. So he wasn't Woodcutter. And Josie Ferreira. Is it Josie? Guess we find out. Or maybe I got it wrong. Or the house is on fire. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. Was Josie. That's Josie, she's injured. Ending S. So I was right. She was the only one that really had the motivation to kill him.
I barely managed to pull Josie from the house as it burned to the ground. All of Bullard's research, his equipment, and his secrets burned with it. Josie Herrera was arrested for the murders of Harris Bullard and Graham Wellington. My story of blackmail, murder, and my narrow escape from a deranged killer made headlines. In January, I start at the Chicago Tribune. I never told them about James Lowry or that Josie's last name is really Turner. Those secrets are mine alone.
All right, well, I picked the right one, it seems. I wonder what would happen if I picked wrong. Because there's a couple of endings. Of course, we got one ending when that guy managed to kill me because I couldn't figure out the way out of the building. You know, we got ending S and ending D. There's ending A, B, and C, but I guess S is the real one. So who was she? She was she was his daughter, I think, because it's a bit confusing. So it turned out that the guy was actually he had stole someone's identity. He had served in the Navy, and the real guy, he actually died in a submarine. But James Lowry, who the guy was actually murdered, the guy that owned this house, he took his identity because he had all his stuff. And because apparently he had a checkered past, he had been part of a crime ring, and he kind of used it as an opportunity to kind of get away from everyone and hide. And so it caused a bit of confusion, of course, then when, here's the part I don't quite understand, because I think then the daughter was his actual daughter, and it wasn't the daughter of the identity he had, I think? I don't know, that part confuses me a little bit, but we can try this again. We can pick the wrong one. Let's pick the wrong one this time. So let's pick up Bobby Sawyer and say he did it. Maybe they all did it in some fashion. But we'll see what happens when we got the wrong one. Maybe I go into the freezer and I don't come back out. Achievement ending B. I just walk forever until I die. Search for local reporter ends. Today, police halted their search for Patricia Gable, who is presumed dead. Gable, a young reporter from Colby, vanished without a trace 2 weeks ago. Police suspect foul play, but so far no suspects have been named. So we got the good ending right off the bat. Aside from that one where I couldn't just figure out how to get out of a room. So let's see what happens. So alright, what happens if I pick wrong again? Is it gonna be the same ending? And then we gotta do the thing where we don't save her. So this might still be ending B. Yeah, okay, so we chose wrong again. So that makes sense. Hey, Mr. Jason. You ever realize how funny people look? Yeah, I'm not even sure which way I'm facing at the moment. Oh, I guess I'm right there, aren't I? Okay, yeah, so that's that ending. So I'm guessing we can get at least one other ending by naming her but not saving her. And then I don't know how to get the last ending. Okay. So let's try the one where we name her, but we don't save her. Here's you. We got that right the first time. This also had some jump scares in it, and it's also had some spooky moments where I had to run around in the dark. It was not fun. Hello. Yeah, it's weird. It's like VR, but it's point and click as well, which is weird in some ways. Okay, so we're just gonna leave her. We got ending A. We didn't save her. So I don't know where exactly I am in the room. Okay, I kind of see where I'm at.
I barely managed to escape as the house burned to the ground. All of Bullard's research, his equipment, and his secrets burned with it. The bodies of Josie Herrera and Graham Wellington were recovered from the debris. My story of blackmail, murder, and my narrow escape from a deranged killer made headlines. In January, I start at the Chicago Tribune. I never told them about James Lowry or that Josie's last name is really Turner. Those secrets are mine alone.
Okay. See, I'm not quite sure how to get the last ending. I'm not sure which that one would be, but yeah. Man, though, if you want to see like a really spooky game, we played one at the start of the stream, called what was it called? Affected the Banner. It was actually really fun. It was really scary, but it was really fun. So you can, you know, check out the VOD for that, or yeah, we're only missing one ending. Oops, wrong button. But yeah. There we go. I shall return to you in just a second. Oh, we got the tremendous VR face going on. But man, that Affected the Manor was particularly scary. It's a cold room, but I was sweating the entire time I was playing it. Is the headset heavy? It is a little bit, but we've got like this is the original HTC Vive, and we bought the special headset that goes with it, which makes it very comfortable. It actually changes where the weight is on it. It's kind of uncomfortable to wear with these because this has headphones, but I need the microphone from the headset. So it's unfortunately very uncomfortable to wear together. I need to get a wireless mic, which I'm kind of planning on it. But yeah, I mean, I can play it for hours typically if I've got everything comfortable. It's just, especially this headset that we've got for it, or the straps on it, change the distribution of the weight so you don't feel it so much. It does have a microphone. It's terrible. It's a terrible microphone because, one, it doesn't have a pop filter, and two, it's right under here. And so you can like hear breathing and puffing and all that kind of stuff. It's a very low quality mic. It's very unfortunate. People have like modded it to make it sound better. I tried. The headset works better. But yeah. yeah, all the P sounds you can hear. But yeah, I love the Vive. It's great. Let me swatch back to that screen. I've played it for quite a bit. I've especially foot cramp. The product of standing for 4 hours. Foot cramp, foot cramp, foot cramp, foot cramp. Yeah, I've been standing the whole stream. But yeah, I've like played Skyrim VR, played Fallout VR, played various other VR titles, and yeah, I enjoy the heck out of it. It's really good. I don't have the Index and I don't have the Vive Pro. I'm kind of interested in the Index, but it's just such a price jump. The controllers I'm kind of interested in, but they seem a little less awkward than these things. But again, they're still really expensive. Is the cable long? Yeah, it's quite long. This room we're in is very small, but this cable goes quite a long way. Like, let's see, here's the headset. I remember at our old place before we moved here, we had a very big room. And you could go quite far. So it's like, there's quite a bit of cable here. So yeah, you could go quite the distance with this thing. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's probably roughly about 7 feet. You have to have some play space. The office here is slightly smaller than the minimum required play space. So we kind of cheated it so it goes like over our desks a little bit. And one time when I was playing Fallout VR, I tried to melee something and I smacked my desk. So we learned I don't melee in this office anymore. That's a bad idea. Because I actually cracked the controller a little bit. It's fine. These things are durable as shit. As many times as these things have kind of been clacked together and bonked and banged, and there's a little divot in this thing where I smacked it as hard as I could on my desk by accident. So yeah. But yeah, that was, we tried some VR titles. The first one was definitely the scary one. That one was fun. It was basically like a haunted house. It was great. This one, it had some spooky moments. It had some jump scares in it. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of awkward to play. The way it had you move around, because it was essentially kind of a point-and-click adventure. But just from a VR perspective. Now, Dead Secrets, I think you don't have to have a VR headset. But a lot of people don't get anything out of it not playing it in VR. Which I kind of understand, because graphically it's not the best. And certain things, the way the movements are a bit awkward. Once I got used to it, it was kind of fine. But yeah, the kind of constantly having to turn around and twist myself up in the cable happens. Well, I think you were watching Dark Omen when I smacked my desk when I was playing Fallout VR. I think you were there during the stream when that happened. When I smacked the shit out of that thing. Do I get any motion sickness? No. I used to at the very start. There was a game I played. What was it called? It was called... I've got it here somewhere. It was like... I did a YouTube video on it. I never streamed it. When I first played it, I got motion sick like crazy. A lot of these games will just let you teleport. Most of them will also put this little thing around your eyes that as you move, it kind of closes in. It's supposed to help, and it does help a lot of people. For me, after I did a couple sessions where I got extremely motion sick, I don't get motion sick anymore. So I can play. I basically what they call it is having your VR legs. I've got my VR legs. I can play without getting motion sick at all. Some people can get over it, some can't. I always just say kind of fight through it, and you'll be able to do it. So So yeah, motion sickness doesn't really affect me anymore. It can, but it just doesn't me. Sounds like when you first played 3D games and look down. Yeah, it's actually the thing that actually made it uh, motion sick, because I played this game was made to be played sitting down. So what kind of made me motion sick was the independent movement of the mouse to my head. So while my head could do the motion and look around, so could the mouse. And that made me so sick. Some games still do that. And so one of the things I started doing was lock my head in a position and just let the mouse do it. And like let my head be the up and down and let the mouse be left and right. That helped me get over that. But yeah, a lot of the stuff you'll see is like stand up. You'll let you teleport. There's always the teleport option, or the close in option can help. But yeah, if you have involuntary movements, that's the thing that gets people. Like the game I was playing with, that kind of I would click and it would automatically take me somewhere. A lot of the reviews for this game said motion sick central. Me, it didn't bother me, because yeah, I'm just used to it. I mean, I can play things like Fallout and Skyrim and just go full ham, run around, jump around, doesn't bother me. I can play Minecraft in VR, doesn't bother me. Although there was one point in the previous game we played that did the Funhouse swirly room. I about fell over. I didn't get sick, but I about fell over. Because it was doing the whole, I'm standing on a solid object and the room around me is twirling. That was fun. But yeah, you never tried VR yourself? At some point, you suppose. I recommend it. It's fun. It's not like crystal clear these days yet, so you'll get kind of what they call the screen door effect, because you're looking very close up to a kind of a low fidelity screen, and so it's kind of like if you're standing at a screen door and you're looking through it. They're kind of slowly getting better. And some games you don't notice it as much. Games that have high detail, things like Fallout and Skyrim that have high detail, you'll kind of notice it more, especially in the distance. A lot of other games that are kind of more cartoony or kind of not as detailed, you won't get that effect. Like this game wasn't super detailed, so I never really noticed that effect that much. But of course, I mean, Skyrim and Fallout were ported to the Vive. It wasn't originally created for the Vive. But yes, usually people that develop games like that usually take that into consideration. And you have to and sometimes reading text can be a little bit difficult if they don't do it right. Most of them have kind of figured out how to get it right. But yeah. So yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. It's really expensive. I wish the price would come down on things just to make it more accessible to people, because I like VR. It's very enjoyable. I get immersed in it. And I'd love for other people to be able to do that. And if more people have access to it, more people make games for it. Because one of the things I love is that Skyrim and Fallout are these huge, big, gigantic games that you can explore in VR, and I love that. That you don't find many VR games that are a very deep and long experience. So yeah. And foot cramp again. Also, let me switch the microphones because I think I'm still on this headset. There we go. All right. We're not on this headset anymore, right? I swapped to the right one. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. You saw a demo of a shark game where you're in a cage and going to the depths. It looked neat. I remember seeing that game. I've never played it. I think it was like Into the Blue. It was like Into the Blue or something like that. I never played it because it was actually kind of expensive and it was just kind of an experience game. But yeah. Elite Dangerous is fun to play in VR as well. In fact, I only play that game in VR. But yeah. I was trying to think what this other game was I played that made me so motion sick. I'm looking through my list. I can't find it. But yeah, it's a good experience. It's just expensive. If it's one of those things I recommend doing if you have extra money. If buying a Vive is going to set you back for quite a while, I don't recommend it. If it's something that you're like, hey, I've got some extra $800 to toss at something, sure, go for it. If you've got $800 burning a hole in your pocket, go for it. Because it is fun. It's a good experience. But yeah, my foot's trying to cramp again. Ha! Just looked Elite up. That looks cool. Yeah, you can go used as well. Because a lot of people weren't impressed with VR. They went in with super high expectations, or they just didn't. People didn't make a lot of games for it. You know, because a lot of the games that come out for the Vive are very arcade-like. You know, because it's like, especially at the very start, like everything was stand in the center and shoot. You know, those kind of games. It wasn't until later that things started letting you kind of like move around and stuff like that. But a lot of them are still very arcade-like. Yeah, Elite Dangerous is really cool. It's exactly what it looks like. It's flying ships around space, doing missions, doing trade. You don't get to get out of your ship. You can put a rover on a planet, that kind of stuff. It's exploring space. It's really not any deeper than that. But it is fun. And playing it in VR is really fun. Especially if you have a HOTAS controller. It's really good, and you can actually even get it up if you have voice attack. You can buy voice packs that you can talk to your ship and have it control. I have John Delancey controlling my ship. It's great. I can never remember the voice commands, but it's cool. What are the resolution? I forget on the Vive, actually. Let me look it up real quick. I forget what the actual resolution is. The hey, did I... Something's gone very wrong with my screen, actually. Actually, let me turn the Vive off here. Because it's off to my screen here. That's why I couldn't see my clock. That was the problem. I couldn't see the clock on my screen. Yeah, voice attack was really fun. Oh yeah, the camera was fine. I just couldn't see my desktop. My desktop was a bit weird. I guess when I set up the capture method I use for it sometimes flicks the screen and causes the resolution to go off. What was the HTC Vive resolution? Hopefully it doesn't come up with the Pro. HTC Vive resolution is 2160 by 1200 or 1080 by 1200 per eye. And I think that's just the regular Vive. There's also the HTC Vive Pro that's out. It's not much of an upgrade, and the Index came out recently. Supposedly it's better. I don't know. It's hard to know without actually just jumping in, and it's expensive, so... I do like the controllers on the Index. They look very interesting. But yeah. So yeah, you'll get a little bit of sometimes a shine effect or you know, like I say, the screen door effect. But if you don't mind that, it can be a fun experience. So yeah. Wow, that took the whole stream today. I mean, I'm glad I planned 2 different games today because that first one didn't last very long, which I expected. So this one lasted pretty much the rest of the time. Sorry. My throat's dry because that last game was a lot of reading. 4K should be standard by now, considering 8K TVs are about to launch. Yeah, it's a lot of things are talking about like 4K. With VR, it's a bit different, of course, because of the screens. I think some things are. I'm not sure if the Index is 4K already or not. I don't know. Apparently, like there's the Oculus Rift S. I don't know. I saw comparisons and people say the Index is slightly better than the S, but they're like very close to each other, I guess. I don't know. So yeah. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to experience the Vive, sometimes places will do it. Like sometimes there's like events or like arcade bars or something that'll have a Vive or something. It's pretty cool if you can do it. Are they both wireless? No, I know the Index isn't. The downside to the Index is the headset. It basically uses the headset. This one, the earpieces are open, so the earpieces don't rest on your ears and they just kind of blare the sound. Apparently it sounds fine, but of course that means everyone hears it, which seems like an awkward choice. People said that that was kind of a problem. The sound is fine, but it's just everyone hears what you're listening to, which wouldn't be a good idea for someone streaming. I don't know. People probably mod that shit out. But yeah, it's not wireless. There is a wireless attachment that you can buy, apparently, that you can make even the Vive wireless. And some people swear by it, so... And it's not a bad idea if you're playing games where you're spinning around a lot. But sometimes the wire actually tells me what my orientation is. If I'm wrapped in the wire, I kind of know which way I'm facing. The screen has a long bar or two individual ones for each eye. For the Vive, it is two screens, two separate screens. I think on Oculus S, it's one screen. But yeah, for the Vive and Index, it is two separate screens. Which it makes me wonder for the Oculus how the focus works, because the way you focus the Vive is there's a dial you turn and it kind of pulls the lenses in or sideways, so you kind of adjust your 3D effect. Or for porn with the other half around. Yeah, that's true. You can also wear glasses in the Vive, because of course you saw I did. So it rests comfortably on my glasses. So, which is weird, because when you think about it, you actually have to wear... If you wear glasses, you have to wear glasses in VR. Because I once tried wearing it, doing VR without my glasses. I couldn't see anything. It was basically like not having my glasses on. Which I suppose in the end makes sense, but yeah. It's just very interesting, because technically it's a screen right here in my face. Yeah, that was a nice little jump into VR. I enjoyed it. I don't know. Let me look at my list here. If I have any other... I have a couple spooky ones. Well, I have at least one other spooky one that's VR. It's more of a kind of like a... It's more of like a runny, shooty kind of Dead Space kind of vibe to it. So it's that kind of scary. Oh yeah, there was... Hang on a second, where was it? What was this other game? Where is it? Narcosis. That was another spooky game. That was another spooky VR game. So we'll try to hit that one sometime this month as well. I don't know how long it is. Let's take a look real quick. Sorry. It's also quite positive. Always like glance at the reviews. Looks like 5 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. Roughly about 3 hours on average, it seems like. Between 3 and 5 hours. Somebody played it for 18 hours. Seems like 3 hours is the average, so. Try Narcosis. Maybe next week. I'm not going to do like VR all in one go, but we'll see. Does Subnautica have VR? It does. It's not that good. The control system is terrible, and the people that make Subnautica don't give a shit. They say it's basically everyone complained about it, and they said, well, the one person we had test it said it's fine, so it's fine. So that was pretty much their idea. It works, but it controls and looks kind of funny. I tried it. It's beautiful, but it's just a pain in the bollocks to control, and the views are kind of weird because the PDA is like right here in your face, and they say, oh, well, our tester said it was fine. So but it does work. If you can get past those little things, it looks great, actually. So yeah, glasses is fine because I have to wear glasses and they fit in the headset comfortably. So yeah. So yeah, I like I say, I tried Subnautica VR. It just wasn't very good. They just half-assed it. It was a secondary feature. They didn't really care about it. It was because the engine they developed it on at one point during their development added native VR support. So they just kind of flagged it on and then just added a few things to kind of make it work a little bit better. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing because it's a beautiful game, but yeah, it's kind of like just kind of forcing your way through it. Yeah, in that case, it was VR tacked on and not built for. Skyrim and Fallout are the same way, but they at least went to a lot of effort to make it work. Some people complain about, but I think they did an amazing job at actually getting to work. Fallout was rough at the start because there were all kinds of problems with it. But once they got it, they got it. It was pretty good. Look up some heavy modded Skyrim. Imagine that must be fun running around in VR. Yeah, I actually do a couple mod. I've played some Skyrim. I did some VR sessions of Skyrim, and I've played some in my off time. And yeah, some of the mods in VR make it look great. So Skyrim's a very beautiful game in VR. Sometimes it's just fun to sit down and look at the environment around you. Fallout, not so much because everything's muddy and gray and gross, but Fallout's a fun game. I'm getting an itch to play Fallout VR again. It's been a while, but I'm getting the itch to play it again. And I think how many hours did I play it last time? I'd have to start over because my save got borked. One of the mods stopped working and my companions were invisible, and I could never get them back. I think some enemies ended up being invisible too. Yeah, the enemies did end up being invisible, I remember, because I was at a place and I could not see what was shooting at me. So that whole save got borked. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, for all the shit Bethesda does and for all the bugginess it is, it's fun. Always keep hoping that their next real Fallout and next Elder Scrolls will be VR compatible, I hope. But the way Bethesda's been lately, I'm not so sure they're even going to make a good game. But yeah. And plus there's some things that people have made mods specifically for the VR side of Fallout and Skyrim. which is really good. One of the things I always liked in Fallout was you could actually make your Pip-Boy actually have a flashlight, which was nice. So it was actually a beam instead of just this aura glow around you. It was good. I did the darkness mod too, so nights were very night. And boy, let me tell you, Far Harbor, very scary at night. Very scary at night. Did not want to go anywhere at night. It was terrifying. Cash grab insanity for all AAA companies at the moment, pretty much, yeah. Hopefully that bubble bursts soon. Especially Bethesda. I don't have much trust for them lately. Between 76 and Blades, not having a lot of trust for them. I played Fallout 76 for 100 hours. I enjoyed the experience while I had it, but I haven't gone back. Let's put it that way. I'm losing my voice because that last game was so much reading. Anyway, so yeah, tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. We'll do another spook game tomorrow. God, after Affected the Manor, I wasn't sure if I was going to do any more horror this week because that was freaking scary. That was so scary. I was like, that's it, I'm done for the week. But I think I might be okay. So tomorrow, let me put it to you this way. Tomorrow might be more horror stuff. We're not done for the month, but maybe I'll take a break tomorrow. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Because holy shit, Affected the Manor was scary. It was not bad, but everything has been a Battle Royale or multiplayer. Yeah, that's true. Plus, they haven't exactly been doing good. They've been doing a lot of pay-to-win shit now. They've added in that they swore they wouldn't do. Is Breath Edge VR compatible? No, it isn't. Kind of wish it was, but it's not. That would be neat. Floating around in VR is it's a bit weird at first. Because yeah, the first time you look down, you go, oh. You feel your stomach go up into your head. It's kind of funny, like when I did that in Fallout. You know, now in Fallout, I could be in power armor, jump off the highest building and be fine. But before, I'd be like, get like that vertigo. Yeah, Breath Edge is a very funny game. I'm looking forward to the next installment. They are working on more already, they've said, so. Because they released an update to it. The icon is back now, but they confirmed there's no point in going to it. But the icon is back for the Normandy. So. Yeah, take a look at her VOD clips. You have one of her in Breath Edge. Yeah, I think I remember that one. That's how you felt when playing Shadows of the Empire back in the late 90s and N64 and you first looked down. Yeah, it's always like back in the old days when they first kind of introduced 3D video games. It was such a weird experience. You know, because I mean, I come from the old vaguely Atari but mainly NES. You know, I think I was 5 or 6 when the NES came out. I was born in 1980. So, and yeah, so having video games come out with 3D effects, and the first time you look down, you're just like, whoa. And VR kind of has that same effect. Oh, the chicken photo. Oh God, me just giggling. That chicken photo. That's my favorite photo. You're a little older than me. Yeah, Dark Omen's a couple years older than me too. My birthday is next month. In fact, just slightly over a month from now is my birthday. It'll be my 39th birthday. Doesn't feel like it. Aside from the fact that I'm tired all the time and something always hurts, I don't feel like it. See, I had an Atari because it was kind of a hand-me-down. I also had the old Pong thing, that was 2 dials and it had like a series of Pong type games. It didn't have Breakout, just had Pong type games. I had that. I remember that. And I had an Atari. And then the NES came out, and I was wowed by that thing. So you're older than both of us. Yeah, it's not many times on Twitch you find people that are older than you. It happens, but it's not often you find that. All right, well, I'm gonna go because it is getting late for me. I need to relax after having the shit scared out of me earlier in the stream. Probably tomorrow we are definitely, well, I say definitely, most likely going to play another spooky game. I don't know which one yet. I'll figure it out. I've got some that I'm kind of lining up to do next. We might hit like another VR one maybe next week. We'll just see how I'm feeling. I don't want to do all the VR stuff all at once. Plus, my legs are probably going to hurt tomorrow from standing up the whole stream. Plus, do I really want to do that to myself again? But yeah, I shall return tomorrow. We'll do something. Probably spook related. So, thank you all for joining me tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed. As usual, everything will go up on YouTube, usually a couple days later. So if you can't catch the VODs for whatever reason or want better quality video, check it out there. So yeah, but I shall return tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great night, and I shall see y'all then. Night, everyone.